Martin joked on everybody on that
For
show.
sure.
Does colorism exist in television, film, Hollywood? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He never mentioned her complexion one time on that show as a joke. It was always her hair. It was always referring to her as being manly, can't find a man.
Okay, those are all stereotypes that are used with dark-skinned women. Being masculine, not being able to keep a man, and being nappy-headed. Those are anti-black tropes that are attributed to dark-skinned black women.
Have you ever once watched Martin and felt like what he said to Pam was inappropriate?
Not as far as being inappropriate, no, but I'm very aware of tropes against black women.
It makes sense if that's coming from somebody who's not a black man who we know loves black women.
But that's like saying black people can't be colorist, and that's not true because we're the worst at it.
Of course, I'm not saying that.
White people is just you a nigga. Light skin, dark skin, you a nigga.
I'm talking very specific to Martin Lawrence here. But we can't do that to Martin Lawrence in the legendary show that is Martin. We cannot do that because we know that that's not what it was and that's not what it is.
How do you know that though?
Nobody has ever watched it and said, yo, I ain't gonna lie, he going crazy on Pam, and it's only because she brown skinned.
Shanae, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that person who created that character is capable of having a little bit of colorism in their jokes?
No, Warrior Mom.
Trauma is a trend these days. It is a joke. Everything is trauma. Arguing with a friend is trauma. Getting bad grades is trauma. They need to grow up.
Right in the heart with a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think they plotting on man. Don't wipe their feet when they enter the lab. I feel a cold stare.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. Now Martin is trauma to people. Y'all are stupid. Here's the thing. Martin was in the 90s. So what y'all telling me is almost 30 years later, you're watching Martin, and now it's colorism. Oh, it's because he didn't like a dark-skinned woman. No. You just are looking for trauma. That's what y'all doing. Y'all looking to be offended by stuff because you got too much time on your hands. You found colorism in Martin. Dumb. That's dumb. And you know how I know it's stupid? Think about all the shows in the 90s. All the black shows. Because when I was a kid, I was watching Sanford and Son, Different Strokes a little bit, All in the Family, the Jeffersons, Good Times. And as a child, when I became an adult, I didn't go, oh, you know what? My self-esteem hurts because Fred Sanford kept calling his son a dummy. And I find trauma in that. I don't like the way George talked to Weezy. He was a misogynist. Like, shut up. But we find, colorism in a comedy show. Okay. So go down the list of the shows. Go find some trauma in the Fresh Prince. Go find some in the Wayans brothers. Go find some in Malcolm and Eddie. Go find this stuff. It's crazy. It's other shows you could actually probably think about it, but not really. Go find this stuff in Family Matters. Go find this stuff in a different world, in the Cosby Show. You can find, because that was the same argument with the Cosby Show. The Cosby Show ain't real to me because I don't know no black family that has a doctor of a dad and a lawyer as a mother. So you don't know a successful two-parent household in the 80s. You didn't see one successful two-parent household in the 80s. You're such a liar. You're such a liar. Parenthood. Oh, so Robert Townsend was so mean in Parenthood. in the house, living single. It's so bad. They balanced out these casts because in ways that they don't do now. A lot of y'all are looking at entertainment now, and y'all really looking to be offended. That's why they putting stuff in television shows and movies just out of that's random and don't make sense out of the blue because they're trying to appease all of you fools out here who got a complaint. And the reason you got a complaint is because you ain't got nothing to do. And I'm about to say something, and I'm cold blooded, I know, but there's a certain age group of black folks that you don't have the same life experiences as a person my age. I'm 45. So a lot of y'all don't have the same black, let's just say, struggle with racism and poverty that we had. So I've said this a time or two. Y'all making up offenses to be activists. There are situations that still happen to this day, but y'all looking to be offended now. I don't like, I don't, I don't like that. People like fried chicken. Oh, it's racist. Whatever, you know. Every time I go to the grocery store, there's a watermelon right in the front. I think that's racism. Okay, all right. Kool-Aid has soda now. That's gotta be racist. Okay, fine, fine. Y'all looking for stuff, you know. And, and this is why, like, I'm calling this stupid. Also, why can't you find this stuff in your own age group, in the shows of your own age group? I'll tell you why. Because y'all had light, fluffy shows. See, when people like to talk about the woke agenda, I was clowning with my wife about this. Cartoons really stopped after in the 90s. So y'all really didn't have Saturday morning cartoons and Samurai Sunday, Kung Fu Saturday. You know, y'all had Barney and Power Rangers and like I said, That's So Raven and these Disney shows and Hannah Montana. Y'all was watching that type of stuff. So, the cartoons we watched that were sometimes fun and sometimes looked at as violent, y'all imaginations aren't that good. So it's offensive. Y'all grew up on a lot of uh, black whitewash versions of whimsical behavior. So, and it's no nice way to say this. A lot of y'all have been whitewashed and programmed, and that's why y'all gravitate to more whitish type of things. That's why y'all. I like Seinfeld. I said, okay, that's a dumbass show. That's why y'all liked Friends, to this day. Like that's why y'all liked, you know, um, Twilight, and that's why y'all into Harry Potter, and it's like it's this stupid shit out of my face because that's y'all, fantasy get down. That's why your generations, you know, are in arrested development because y'all are too damn soft. And I'm gonna say this, and I mean it with all due disrespect. As much as y'all hate Drake, y'all Drake is actually a a synopsis on a particular age group. Y'all sensitive, but y'all swear y'all want to be hardcore. You get what I'm saying? Y'all petty, y'all passive aggressive, you're easily offended, and you do shady, sneaky stuff. But we just supposed to let it slide. don't get it twisted. Drake is a great artist, but so and all of y'all like y'all turning on Drake. I don't know why y'all just like him. And this stuff is 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 prime example of trying to be so intellectual that you're an idiot because oh, let me break down the feelings and the emotions that I went through and now the world's going through it. No, nobody's going through this. But for a lot of y'all, colorism really isn't an issue for y'all. I know y'all swear it is, but it's not. For a lot of y'all, no, it's not. A lot of y'all issue is really, obesity, bad attitudes, lack of intelligence, inconsiderate, and entitled. Let's just say I'm gonna just keep it at 5. Entitled. But y'all wrap those things up in racial issues and where they don't fit. That's why I say this is stupid and idiotic because y'all put all of this animosity into stuff where it doesn't fit. And that's the issue with all of these fake traumas. You know, I fell off my bike. I'm traumatized for life. I got a speeding ticket and it's racism. No, you got a speeding ticket because you were speeding. Like, I failed my class because the teacher hated me. No, you failed your class because you didn't turn in your assignments. I know the difference between a teacher who's racist and you not doing your homework. This is where we're at now. Bills are racist. Oh, but running up the bills are not. Interesting. Y'all are too soft, man. And you cannot be taken seriously half the time because the shit y'all say sounds so damn stupid. Martin's colorism. Get the fuck out of here. You know. So is the movie Powder. Powder is about colorism. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, man. But tell me what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.